Dear members and friends, I arrived at Brooklands with my family in early February 1990, having served as pastor of the Church of the Nazarene in Croydon for almost 5 years. I didn't make too many mistakes in my early years pastoring in Brooklands simply because I think I made most of them when I was at the Croydon Church for those 4.5 years. My thanks to a patient flock in those early tender years of my pastorate. When we arrived in Manchester, our daughter Rebecca was 4 years of age and our son Dean was only 2. Now we have 3 grandchildren. The duration of my time in this church at Brooklands that I love has been more due to the acceptance and support of the people here than to my resilience as a pastor, I am sure. Indeed, this good Christian love continues to be one of the strong points of our church, and long may it continue for the years to come. Love, as you may know, is the heart of our central Wesleyan doctrine of belief. This will be my final full report as the pastor of the Church of the Nazarene in Brooklands, Manchester, because I'm planning to retire on my 66th birthday, which will be next February 2021. And so for that reason, I wanted to place on record the strength of acceptance and faithfulness of church membership, past and present. I firmly believe, as I did 30 years ago, that this was the place where the Lord wanted me to serve as the pastor. God's will is an amazing option for all of us. His will is full of grace, forgiveness, challenge, and of course provision. I have the support of a great church board and believe that God has amazing things yet to do amongst us as we serve Him, our fellowship, the many visitors we get, and of course the community that surround our church. The board have also given important time to focusing and praying about pastoral succession at the beginning of next year, God willing. So I commend also the work and ministry of Lucy Frost, our church support worker these past few years, thanking her for all her tasks that she's been so faithful with in completing and her many contributions to our ministry. Our mission statement, which we'd written a few years ago now, continues still to be meaningful to us. It's simply this: drawing people closer to God by loving, growing, and serving. This statement of mission applies to all aspects of our ministry, both in Sunday church and midweek church. And under normal circumstances, this focus would find fulfillment through our kids' church on Sunday mornings, our toddling group, our diner on a Tuesday, our China Cup Cafe on a Friday, and not least other seasonal ministries in the community with other local churches, with the district and community events. I have to acknowledge that the many gracious and gifted people who have worked tirelessly in the background, silently serving others as unto the Lord. And I just wanted to say that without those good acts of kindness, our church would be all the poorer. And the Lord knows these things, and He will reward openly one glorious day. Needless to say, the church has changed considerably over these years, including increased attendance, effective outreach to the wider community, extending church buildings and improved facilities, not forgetting to mention the skilled lay workers that we have in our church. I have so much appreciated the opportunity to serve on various district boards and want to put on record also my appreciation as a local church for district support in numerous ways. So much genuine support has been offered and greatly accepted over these 3 decades. So finally then, it is with the most sincere gratitude imaginable that I express my thanks to all for so many years of support, prayer, and friendship in every way. The many kindnesses of the board to me, those who have been my fellow workers in good times and in sad, and especially those who have served with us and have made that promised transition to glory. There has been a whole generation of people, too many to mention, who, if I were to read their names, we would have cause to break out in doxology for God's goodness to us. I counted their names from old records, and was well over 100. I think too of the late Reverend Mike Tewksbury, who had been my weekly prayer partner for almost 29 years, until being called home to glory recently. My gratitude, finally, to my wife Ingrid, and immediate family Rebecca and Mark, Dean and Simona, who have always given 100% support. You may have heard the old saying, behind every good pastor is a good spouse. In my case, Ingrid, the correcting, advising, and sometimes, I have to say, I told you so voice of wisdom and reason. Her skill set has been crucial to my ministry here at Brooklands. The book of Proverbs speaks of a wife who is worth more than rubies. Wonder who that could be. And the psalmist writes about sons that are a heritage from the Lord and children that are a reward from him. Our family, small back then, has become families that love and serve the Lord. I also need to thank my parents-in-law, the Packards, who have given so much valued support, not least because they were instrumental in my coming to Brooklands in the first place. As Mr. Bill Graham, long-standing board member over my years here, and other board members back then too, know full well. The most recent challenge to provide digital services has opened up an amazing connection with people, many of whom we have not seen for years. We have managed to reach people in the hundreds, and we thank the Lord for that. Every cloud does indeed have a silver lining. I expect God has opened a door that we wish to keep open. So then, on this my 31st and final full report as the pastor of the Brooklands Church of the Nazarene in Manchester, being a report looking back over 3 decades collectively, I wish to put on record my gratitude to the Lord for the privilege of serving in this capacity of ministry entrusted to me away back in 1985. To God be the glory. Great things he has done. And respectfully submitted, Carl Stanfield, Pastor. God bless you.